In this episode of Flea Market Rescue, I'm going to take you along for the entire journey of opening the store. From beginning right up until the grand opening. You're going to get to see firsthand everything we needed to do to the store in order to get it to open. So if you're ready for this week's episode, let's dive in. If you're new to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name's Kelly Sherry. I do a lot of home decor makeovers and furniture flips. I love taking you along as we go thrifting, garage sailing, and flea marketing. So if you're interested in learning how to do some of this, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. That way you'll get notified every time I post a new video. Well, as you guys know, we had a booth at Colette's, and we did really well there. It was really great for a few months, and then we got the notice that they were going to be closing. The building was sold, and we had to get everything out of there. So we had nowhere to sell our stuff, and we had to put everything in a storage unit. At the same time, I was getting so many orders on Etsy, which is great, but it was taking over the house. My husband was like, "Your business has outgrown this house. This house is starting to look like a factory." And he was right. I needed a place where I could sell my home decor and also work on orders without it being all in my house. So I started to look at buildings. I first looked at an old barn, but it had no heat, no water, and no bathroom. Not to mention, it needed a lot of work, and my mom said I would be making the biggest mistake of my life. Oh, and did I say that it smelled like mold? Yeah, it smelled like mold. So needless to say, I passed on the barn, but I still continued to look for buildings. The next one I came across was this one in Romeo, and I was pretty excited about it. You guys remember when we went garage sailing in Romeo, don't you? Oh my gosh, when pigs fly. That's where Debbie got her flying pig. Yeah, I can't wait to go garage sailing in Romeo again. We packed Debbie's van that day. That was so much fun. So anyway, yes, I came across this building. It had heat, it had water, and it had a bathroom. So I thought, you know what, this could work. I called the number. I talked to the guy. He said I could come look at it. And then I never heard from him again. So I don't know what quite happened there, but shortly after I noticed that there was someone already occupying it, so I think he already had something in the works with her. About a month or two later, I was driving and I came across this beauty. Oh my gosh, look at the windows. I could totally picture them decorated, and I was like, I think I found my place. So I called the number, only to find out that the guy wanted 3 times the amount of what a building of this square footage would go for. And he wanted a 3-year lease. I don't have to tell you, but that building is still not rented. So you're probably thinking, wow, at this point, she's probably really disappointed. But it's like what I tell my kids. When you're faced with a no, it's not God saying, no, you're not going to get it. He's saying, not yet. I have something better for you. And if you keep that in mind, you are going to be fine. And sure enough, one night I was on Facebook Marketplace and I came across this little charming building. They were actually renting out the apartment above. However, I was like, I wonder if the store's available. So I text them and they said yes, it was going to be available shortly. The following week, I was able to go look at it, and before you knew it, I was signing a lease. With the keys in my hand, I was now a new business owner. Now, as charming as the windows were, there was a lot of work that needed to be done before I could ever open. The walls needed to be painted, and the cabinets needed to be ripped out, along with the carpet. Also, all the lighting needed to be replaced. And the workroom definitely needed to be all redone, especially the workroom ceiling. I would like to say that we finished the bathroom, but that's still a work in progress. But at least we have a bathroom, right? The next day, after I received the keys, I went to the building only to find my mom, Debbie, and Karma already ripping out the carpet.
I got my crew here.
Here, but turn around.
I got my crew here. I got Debbie,
Hello.
Karma, and my mom. Oh, look at you with the power tool. All right, so we are ripping up the carpet right now. And look at the flooring underneath here. I can't believe someone would put carpet over this.
Yes, it was hard to believe, but I'll tell you one thing, that carpet had to go.
So they left some hangers up here. Debbie's trying to get them down. You got this, Deb.
9 foot tall, it'd be a lot easier.
I forgot a ladder.
And
Come on, Deb. Oh, she did it. right, we got all the carpet out, and this floor is not bad. It does have glue, but look at this. We totally can refinish this.
Or so I thought.
Tell them how long we've been working.
We only have been working less than an hour and got all this carpet up.
We're not for hire though.
No. And then Carm's taking out the zillion screws that are in this wall. Right, Carm?
This is true.
We got screws everywhere in this wall. So we're just sitting around. We're trying to brainstorm, right, Mom? What do you think, Carm?
My brain's not strong enough.
I'm just the muscle.
Deb has some really good ideas too.
I'm just the muscle.
Yes, I saw you.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So we just all sat around looking at the building, wondering what can we do with this? How can we make this great?
All right, so we rented this sander for the floor, and they've been trying to untangle this for 20 minutes. What did you say, Preston? You rent it for a day?
Yeah, run for a day. Half the day takes just to unravel that.
Just to unravel that cord, huh? That's crazy. So we're hoping that this is gonna look good. They tore all the cabinets out, which are really nice. And today I had this wood cut to do shiplap. All right, so we got all those strips cut. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, try as we may, this floor just did not come out how I pictured it. The glue was actually just kind of like tar paper, and it was like melting into the floor. We even had a really coarse sandpaper on there.
Okay, so we're doing shiplap here. My son's helping me. And we forgot the, what is it called, Preston?
Jigsaw.
Yeah, the jigsaw, so we could cut around these outlets. And we have a big gap here. Nice.
Putty?
Yeah, I got putty.
Does that work right there?
Yeah,
Well, it'll be fine.
that looks fine.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, we're good. Oh,
The walls are not the best.
no, they're not, but
It's all right.
So good.
we're gonna make do with what we have.
It's gonna be perfect.
A few days later, my son was able to come back when he had the jigsaw, but as my son worked his way down the wall, there really was nothing to attach the shiplap to, because if you remember, it was a big gaping hole from where the piping was. But he ended up managing to put some 2x4s in there and just finishing up the job. And then my mom and Karma decided they were going to paint it, and we did it in a nice kind of antique white, making it look like the perfect shiplap. While they were doing that, I was painting the ceiling black. I have to say I felt a little crazy doing that, and I was wondering if I was making a big mistake.
Oh my gosh, we're painting it black. I hope it's gonna look good.
I went on Facebook Marketplace, and not only did I find this gorgeous chandelier, but I found these ceiling tiles that I thought would go really well with it. The ceiling tiles were sold by this amazing place called Reclaimed Michigan. This place is a hidden gem. I would have never known it was here. Just take a look at this place. You're not going to believe the back part of this building. It is all reclaimed wood from old barns. Let's take a peek here, and then I'm going to have Colin tell you about the wood because it's really interesting what he says. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at all this barn wood. I love it. And then they even have chippy white too. Yikes. Get me out of here before I spend all my money.
Hi, my name's Colin, and today I'm going to show you Reclaim Michigan.
This is really awesome.
So
I can't even believe this is here.
A lot of the barns will have a mix and match, so sometimes you'll see stuff that's hand hewn, but you'll also see stuff that's circular sawn. And a lot of that has to do with what was accessible. So back in the late 1800s, you didn't have a whole lot of mills, or if you did, they were few and far between. So a lot of the material, just because of lack of ability to transport it, was taken right off the property. Especially like some of those larger stuff that get 50, 40 plus foot. All that without roads and highways like we have today was incredibly hard to move and get milled. So that's why you see a lot of it's done by hand.
Wow.
And that was all done on site. People's accent walls, and we can do custom orders, different various sizes.
Oh,
All
okay.
this stuff down here is going to Indiana, some of that.
Wow. So you do ship all over then, huh?
It to certain larger purchases, we'll sell kind of wholesale
Got it.
bunks.
Okay.
There's a lot of people like down south. There's a lot of guys buying up a lot of the oak in some of those barns, and they're milling that for flooring. So a lot of oak flooring and stuff is being done out of the reclaim. And then out west, it's super popular. So even out west, some of those guys will pay retail price what we would sell retail price here as a wholesale price. They'll purchase it.
Wow.
So that's how the
That's how
demand
popular.
changes as you go out west. Yeah, because less barns. It's just they don't have the same stuff. And another cool fact about it is the farther you go north, the larger the barns get. So we get more material out of the barns because you have a longer winter.
That
you've
is
got more
true.
animals.
That is
Yeah.
true. I do notice that.
So not only did I buy ceiling tiles from Michigan Reclaimed, I went back and bought barn wood for my countertop because their wood was just amazing. Let's talk about my counter. So this here was left in the back workroom, and I thought, you know what? That could make a good counter. I mean, you could put your bags in there and stuff. I know it doesn't look good now, but wait until you see what we did with it. Here's the counter at our grand opening. I'll show you a little more of that in just a little bit. But as you can see, we used the 2-inch barnwood that we got from Reclaim Michigan. The front has a 1/4 inch just plywood on the front. We used corbels that we got from the thrift store. You might even remember that thrifting haul. I picked these up for like $3.99 a piece. And everything was painted in graphite. We also put little moldings just to give it a little more of a decorative touch. I think the counter came out fabulous. Everyone loves the counter. I think the only thing I would do though is put a rod through those corbels. That way we could hang things off of that. And I did find a nice big thick rod at a thrift store. And you're going to get to see that in an upcoming episode. Again, here's another look at the counter. I think it came out wonderful. So with a little imagination, you can make anything look good. So just remember that. Even this wooden broke down workbench. As I was telling you guys, I bought this gorgeous chandelier off Facebook Marketplace. As a matter of fact, that was the first thing I bought for this place, and I could not wait to have it hung up. The fluorescent lights and the tulle needed to come down. Is that even safe? And luckily for me, Debbie's son is an electrician, and he has a company called Innovation Electric, and his crew came over and did all my lighting for me. They even switched out these little teeny lights on the back of the wall with this wonderful gooseneck lighting. Oh my gosh, I love it. My mom and I needed to run to Menards because the other fluorescent lighting on the back of the wall, that was going to be replaced too, and we needed to find something for that area. My mom really liked these lights, so that's what we had put in there instead. They brought the lighting a little further up. That way if I wanted to put something in the back there, the lights wouldn't be sitting right on it. I even bought this chandelier at Menards to switch out the fan that was in that second room. Debbie said she could picture a farmhouse table with mix-match chairs, and I was sold. I thought this would be the perfect light to go above that. My nephew Quentin worked on that. You guys remember Quentin. He has done all the shows with us. He is such a great kid, I'll tell you. He's such a kind person, and he's always there when you need help. He's actually going to be doing the shows with us this year, too. Anyway, he had worked for Debbie's son over the summer in an internship, and he was there helping us. They ended up getting the light hung, and then they tested it. It turned out beautiful, but now it was time to put on all those little glass bulbs. We managed to do that, and then this chandelier just kind of set the tone for the whole building. Now, although I had the bookcases from Colette's and the barn doors, I didn't really have a lot of furniture, so I looked on Facebook Marketplace and I found the perfect piece. This thing was 9 feet tall and 8 feet wide. It would make a great display piece, especially to cover up the plumbing in that back area. The only thing is, this thing was in Ohio. So you know it, we got in the truck and we drove to Ohio. Good thing this piece came in 2 pieces because it was mammoth. After an 8-hour day, we finally arrived at the store and my mom met us. It was time to unload.
Let me readjust it real quick. Are you missing 2 doors?
The 2 in the front are not on there.
I didn't think about the doors. Cool. On the inside.
It was so exciting. I don't know what I would have done without my boys. They helped me so much.
Make sure you watch this.
All I could see is them hitting the chandelier with that. Yikes. And just like that, the hutch was in the store and I was so happy and tired because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. We now had our first piece of furniture for the store. My mom and Debbie patched every little hole and there was a lot of them. Then we picked a wall color, and while I was at home making videos, my mom and Debbie painted the walls this pretty beige. Above the counter, I really wanted to do like an awning and have a whole bunch of greenery on there. So my son built out this frame, and the next time he was going to come back, he was going to finish it up for me. But it was getting late, and also the weather was getting really nasty outside. So we decided to head home, but not before I gave you a little look around. It was starting to come together and I was getting pretty excited. Well, things were really coming along, but you know what? We needed to get on the road. It was a winter storm watch and we were driving home in an ice storm.
We're literally driving home in an ice storm. How crazy are we? Right, Preston? Nuts.
We arrived home to find out that we were out of power and we would be for 3 days. Maybe some of you remember that time. I was absolutely miserable. We had no power, I was freezing, and I could not wait for the power to come back on. We eventually made it back to the shop and Preston finished my awning. Oh, it was looking good too. After he was done with the frame, we had purchased some fencing that had some really great earth tones. We put that up and it just really gave it a nice rustic feel. My son built this awning and now we're hanging greenery that we got from Hobby Lobby here. And I think it's looking really good. So I just got to do the last piece here and that is going to be finished. And then we're going to put the Flea Market Rescue sign up. Oh, things were really starting to look grand. And we even bought some furniture from 235 in Marine City and painted it.
Looking good there, Donnie. I just scuff sanded this and we are going to paint this one black.
I was finally starting to see this place as a store. There was just one thing I really wanted to do. This beam above here, I never really liked it, and I just kind of wanted to make it look like a wood beam. So Karma and I cut some styrofoam insulation, and we pounded it up onto the beam. Now, in order to make a faux beam, we had to use a wire brush. You take the wire brush and you go over the styrofoam back and forth, which creates a wood grain pattern. Then you could even take the back of the wire brush and put a couple nicks into the styrofoam, because this will look like, you know, indentations into the wood, and that's normally how wood looks. All right, so I'm using some of this Dixie Belle coffee bean, and as you saw the other day, I was taking a wire brush to this styrofoam to make the grooves, and now I am just painting this coffee bean. We're gonna get in all the grooves there, and then I'm gonna go over it with a lighter color, and it's gonna look just like wood. I came back the next day and I used Annie Sloan Cocoa. I kind of did a wash on it. I did it over that coffee bean by Dixie Belle. Now the dark area that you see on this beam is where I used black wax, and I'm gonna continue to do that across the entire beam. And as you can see, it really does resemble wood. I'm really happy how this came out, and I will probably do the pole too. But we really needed to figure something out with this floor because it looked awful.
Debbie's still trying.
Try as we may, this glue just was not coming up, and it did not look good on the floor. We tried shoveling it off. We tried sanding it off. We even used stripper, and nothing was taking this glue off.
I know. I would have loved to save this floor, but really there's nothing I can do. We've sanded it, we've done everything. All right, so my mom and Debbie are actually washing this floor because we are gonna paint it.
I just went up to there. Oh.
I know you guys are just gonna be cringing that we're gonna do this, but there's a lot of glue.
It's got to dry.
There's a lot of glue still stuck. We can't get it off. There's even this here plastic piece covering up something. But look at.
So we just came to the realization that we were just going to have to paint the floor. I did some poorly mocked up versions of what the floor could look like painted. The first one was black. We felt like black was just going to show every footprint and every speck of dirt. The second poorly done mock-up I did in white, and oh my gosh, it was way too white. All you could see was the floor. And the last one I did in checkers, and I think we had a winner.
All right, I feel very insane doing this, but we are painting the floor here. Again, you saw what it looked like. There was so much glue. This is like an antique white, and then we're gonna put diamonds over it.
Now, not everything would go smoothly as you would think, because after I painted this, I ran into quite a problem.
All right, so we started painting the floor, and then some of that glue decided it wanted to come up. So I have literally been ripping sheets of the glue off. Now we have a big old mess because I've already started painting the floor. Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare.
I literally had to get on my hands and knees and sand the floor where those pieces had come off so everything would be smooth. Talk about a nightmare. I repainted the floor, and after that was dry, I took the sander to distress it a bit. Distressing it would hide some of those imperfections. We finished painting the second part of the room, and as you can see, my son was able to box in that part where you could see those pipes. All except for the actual plumbing, which that hutch was going to cover. Now you're probably thinking, wow, that looks fine. You didn't even need to distress it. But I'm going to show you a close-up. Without distressing it, it would be very noticeable where all the glue was. So that's what I did. I sanded the floor on my hands and knees to give it that distressed look to hide some of the imperfections. Before we go on, let's discuss the windows. The windows really needed something, so I got on the ladder and I put some grapevine up there along with some greenery. Later, I added some twinkle lights and it just looks so amazing. The only thing is, these windows are really old and we have tried to clean them multiple times. Debbie has cleaned them, my son, myself, and they just still look cloudy.
All right, so for the longest time, we've been trying to clean these windows. They've been washed by Debbie, my son, myself, and they are just horrible. My sister came over and look at this. I think a bird's gonna fly in here. It is so crystal clear. You have to tell them, what are you using?
Basically, these cloths are the bomb. These are by Norwex, and they're kind of pricey, but I've had this at least 3 or 4 years. I throw them in the wash. But this is a microfiber for windows specifically, even it says window on the tag. And then all I don't use any chemicals or anything. So I know a lot of people are health conscious and stuff, but this is a perfect thing, especially if you have kids and pets and things like that. You don't want to use all those chemicals. All this is hot water. And this is an environmental cloth, and you can clean literally anything with it. Your toilets, your sinks, your whatever you want. It will clean anything you want. Windows, and then like I said, you just get the window cloth and
Show them on one of these.
Okay.
Like, look how dirty this window is.
well, I'll
what?
go outside because it's dirtier on the outside.
I mean, it really is filthy. Wow. Look how clear that is compared to this window here. This window is so cloudy, and look at that, crystal clear. I can't believe you only use water.
Just water. Yep, hot water I just use.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. I didn't know what we were gonna do. We just could not get these clean.
Now the next challenge was the checkers for the floor. We were trying to figure out the math for the checkers. We ended up having to call my sister's husband, Jerry, and Quentin came and they figured it out for us. They drew all the lines on the floor and then we taped it up. We would have been there forever.
From the wall to here.
Here's my sister putting the tape down. It's like a group effort. We have her husband, Jerry, who's been drawing out the squares, along with Quentin, my nephew. So we just taped off this whole floor here. It was drawn all out in squares. Everyone that has a little dot on it is one that is not going to get painted. The ones that don't have the dot are going to be painted black. So hopefully this is going to turn out good. Cross your fingers. I'll show you what it's going to look like in that. Here, let's take them. Ooh, that's looking really nice. Mom, how are you doing on your square? Oh, that looks good too.
This was starting to look so good, and it was everything that I had envisioned in my head.
It's looking really good. What do you think, Herm?
I think that this is really tedious, and they're doing a very, very precise job. And Kelly, I want to say that you did a very good job mopping the floor before we started painting.
All right, you guys, we're gonna take a look inside my shop here.
I'm going to stop right here because over to the left, you're going to notice that we started to make a fireplace. It's right below the chalkboard, and we use corbels that we got at 235 in Marine City. All I need though is like a mantle, and it should look awesome. I also want to put those little round wood pieces inside the fireplace.
Look at this floor. It was painstaking, but I'll tell you, it's worth it.
Now the only thing to do was to add a coat of polyurethane, and for that I wore a mask. Now that the floor was done, it was time to start moving stuff in. We got the barn doors that were at Colette's, we got a chicken coop that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace, and we also brought in the bookshelves.
All right, so all night we've been trying to figure out how we're gonna arrange this. So far we took the barn doors that were at Colette's, and we're really liking that, so we're probably gonna secure this around the pole and put a dresser there. We also got the bookcases, and I think that looks really good as well.
Then as you walk into this other room, we're thinking about putting these screens up. And then also over here, there's the chicken coop, and we have the corrugated metal, which we're gonna also do an awning over. So we're just still trying to figure out everything here. I'm not quite sure how this is all gonna go, but we're just kind of filling it all out. A couple days later, I had my son come and secure the barn doors. We had decided we love the barn doors where they were. So he just kind of put some brackets on there and screwed them into the beam. That way, no one was gonna get hurt. He also made this pergola where we could hang grapevine and the ball lighting. We added a screen as a little added touch, and I really love it. I think it's charming. In the back, you'll notice that he finished the corrugated metal awning, and I think it looks very sharp. This is going to be such a cute room. So we still had not found our farmhouse table that we were going to put underneath that one light, but my mom found these in the garbage. Can you believe someone threw these out? Yes, they had stuff missing at the bottom, but guess what? I sculpted the bottoms and fixed them. Then my son went ahead and assembled it for me, and this table came out beautiful. I just painted the legs with some watered down graphite, and it just matched perfectly. The top of the table was wood that I got from a church rummage sale. I paid $40 for it, and it was actually a 14-foot plank that I had to drive home with a red flag because it was so long. I've had it for about 10 years, and finally I'm able to use it. We cut it in half and it goes perfectly. I was told that this wood was 100 years old. Well, I guess we could say it's 110 because I've had it 10 years in my garage. And you know, after all that table didn't even fit in the area that we had wanted it to be. It just was too tight, so we put it up in front by the door. I think it looks really nice there, and I am going to get some mixed match chairs. What did you ever do with the workroom, you ask? Well, let me just tell you quickly.
Anyway, our workroom here, the ceiling is just a mess. So there used to be a sheet over there. We put some drywall, but we're putting shiplap above here because I cannot stand to look at all this. Looks terrible.
The shiplap we ended up painting antique white, and then my mom painted the walls beige in the workroom. It's not perfect, but it's 100% better than what it was. She said she just needs to get in this corner, and then that room will be completely done and painted. And you know how Karma loves animals? She was supposed to be taping me at Springfield, but this is what she was taping instead. Well, she looked out the back door of the workroom, and it sure made her happy.
Karma even found that they have a dog here.
It's a win-win.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, right next door, the same day that I moved in, was a wildlife rescue. It's called Critters Crossing, and she does such a wonderful job. She's taking care of these little cutie patooties. Unfortunately, their mom didn't make it. However, she's going to rehabilitate them, and when they're old enough and strong enough, she'll have them back in the wild. She even has a little fox there. But it's this little guy who stole my heart. I read his story, and he's a groundhog. Someone poured cement down the hole. It got in his eyes, and he's just not in good shape, so she's taking care of him while he's on the mend. I think it's beautiful what she's doing, so I'll leave her information in the description in case you want to donate something or just send her a card. Her name's Erica, and again, that's Critters Crossing. Anyway, getting back to the workroom.
Workroom is really looking good. We painted this floor. We couldn't get this table out. I don't know how my kids got it in there, but we couldn't get it out. So we just painted around there. Then we're gonna move it and paint those squares there. It needs a second coat. Kind of splotchy. Wow, look at that workroom. Is that incredible? It's come a long way.
I actually found our work table at the Salvation Army. You guys might remember that in one of the episodes. Because it's such a small area, I thought it'd be good if we had like a little bench seat. So I found this one on Facebook Marketplace. It's actually a Pottery Barn one. And so I thought, you know what, this is gonna be really comfortable. We're gonna get it. And here we are, gathered around the table, ready to eat the cake that Karma baked. It says FMR for Flea Market Rescue. I think this workroom is gonna work out. We even have a TV back there too. So just remember, a little paint can go a long way. It sure did wonders for this room. Well, time was ticking, and Debbie couldn't have been more right. Yep, let the stress begin. We had about a week and a half before our grand opening, and we were trying to get everything done, get everything set up, find a register, have everything in place. When all of a sudden, I fell and broke my ankle. It couldn't have been any worse timing. I had so much to do, but I really couldn't get around very good, so I had to have other people help me.
We are working on this. Well, they are, because I'm just sitting here with a broken foot. But look at all this stuff, you guys.
It was almost overwhelming. I didn't even have a sign on the door. It seemed like we were never going to get done. In a few days, I was able to get around a little better, and in the meantime, Debbie, Karma, and my mom, they all did such a great job of pulling the shop together. Just look at it. It was packed with so much home decor, and it was beautifully displayed. So across the street is a place called Alleyway Boutique, and they do vinyl there. So I was going to have them do my logo, but you want to hear something very ironic? They're a mother and daughter team, and they actually started off many years ago in the building that I am running right now. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, I had her do my logo for my door because my silhouette only goes up to 12 inches, and I needed something that was like 20 inches in diameter.
We just picked up the logo, and I smoothed it out. Hey, you guys, it's official. I got it up on the window here. We are in business. Here are our store hours. Oh, I love it. Love, love, love it. We're closed today, but tomorrow's our grand opening.
Nothing like waiting to the last minute. Anyway, I want you to meet Janelle at Alleyway.
All right, so we're walking into Alleyway, and they actually had my building before I did. Oh, so there's Janelle.
Hi.
She owns the store. Can you tell them a little bit about what you do here? And then I'll show them everything you have here.
Absolutely. So we have a little bit of a boutique. We are getting ready to make some changes for more blanks because we do embroidery, custom embroidery. We do t-shirts. We do pictures on shirts and mugs and all kinds of stuff.
They have a lot of great stuff here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pan around and just kind of show you. So if you guys need anything done, I would appreciate it if you support her. She even has jewelry here. It's beautiful. Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting us film in here, and thank you for doing my logo too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You did an awesome job. Thanks.
Thank you.
And I almost forgot to tell you guys, her prices were great.
All right, here's the crew here. Karma baked us a cake. FMR, Flea Market Rescue. It's the day before the grand opening, and we're very nervous. I am, anyhow. Thank you, Debbie, for everything you did. Thank you, Mom. Sorry I was crazy.
I just showed up today,
Jenny,
but I'll take any accolades you have.
We're glad to have you here. Karma, I couldn't have done it without you. Gabby, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and dig in.
Here's Debbie and my mom trying to set up Debbie's flying pig for the raffle. The place was absolutely packed with tons of home decor. We had some really nice stuff. I wanted to make sure that if people were traveling, that there was a lot to see. I wanted to make sure that I had a lot of desserts and refreshments for everybody. We had strawberry shortcake, we had cheesecake, carrot cake, Debbie's flying pig that she's raffling off. The drawing is actually on June 1st. That way it gives more people a chance to win. Oh my gosh, there's already people waiting. I'm going to show you around before we open. We have a couple more minutes before we do. That's that farmhouse table we made. We have a lot of home decor. We have wall decor. Those are the 2 bookcases from Colette's. As you can see, it's just packed. And then if you look over here on the dresser, look at this head. Isn't it gorgeous? All right, let's make our way back to that little garden room back there. That's what we call it. We have tons of like florals. And then in the chicken coop, we have a lot of chickens, and oh, we can't forget those cement heads. And over on this big hutch, we have tons more home decor. There's just like so much to look at, you don't even know where to look first. We even have more in a tent.
Hey girls, are we? Oh wow, look at this tent. You guys did fabulous. Look at you guys. So we have 2 tents here. Oh my gosh, this place looks amazing. We got our cash register. We are officially open for business. So I'm going to turn the sign around here and everyone's welcome to come in. All right. There we go. Yay! Welcome you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is Karen. She drove all the way from
Sylvania, Ohio.
Yes,
Over
just
2 hours.
just to come see us and go to our grand opening here. So I am so thankful and
Support this wonderful lady.
Oh.
Yes.
My name is Karen.
Karen.
I live in Flushing, Michigan.
Oh my gosh, she drove from Flushing.
Not come here for this first day.
They said you were out here an hour.
Yes.
Oh, look how sweet. Oh my gosh, I got the best people, I'll tell you. Supportive, I'll tell you. You know what, you put in there and
I'm
go
getting
look.
in there.
Yeah. This is Holly. Where are you from, Holly?
Davison.
Davison. She came from Davison to come see my grand opening. Oh my gosh, and you watch all the time?
All the time, yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love it. This is Debbie, and she's my first customer today. I am so excited. Thank you so much.
You're very
Thank you for
welcome.
coming and bringing my stuff.
Oh, no.
I met so many great people that day, and it was just so nice that they took the time to drive over there and just support me in my grand opening. So thank you to everyone that came. We even got to see a few familiar faces. Do you remember Sue from Colette's? I love her. Her husband makes all those awesome spoon rings and necklaces out of silverware. And I know a lot of you have asked me like, hey, how can we get a hold of them? But after I left Colette's, I didn't have any contact information. So I have their information now, and I'll leave it in the description. He even made us a special gift for this day. I'll let Debbie tell you.
A dear friend of ours here today who brought us these beautiful necklaces. We met so many awesome people today. They came from everywhere in the state. Came to meet us, bought everything. It was a great day.
She wasn't lying. We met a lot of great people that day. I cannot believe the amount of support that I got on my grand opening. It was just a fabulous day. Even our buddy Vic, who I met at Utica Flea Market, he came to my grand opening too. He has a booth in Storehouse Antiques. It's in Port Huron, and his booth number is number 4. We just love him. He is such a nice guy. On my last day at Colette's, when I was getting ready to leave, I ran into this woman here. Her name's Patricia, and she drove up there to meet me. I could not believe it. I was just so thrilled, and I took a picture with her. Well, guess what? She came to my grand opening too. I have never seen so much support in all my life. Her and her husband started their own YouTube channel, and it's called Creative Unique Treasures. She also has a booth at the Vintage Farmhouse too, booth 351. And when I went to Davisburg, I came across this cute little booth, and I saw the most adorable witch that I had to have. Her sister-in-law, she had another booth right next to it, and she had made my pumpkins. I thought that was just so cool. Anyway, they came to my grand opening. I could not believe it. Anyway, I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can look them up because they do some really good work. Thanks so much for coming, girls. And while I was out there chatting with everyone, Jenny was inside the tent making me a millionaire. She accidentally rung in $1 million. Oh my gosh, Jenny. I love it.
Subtotal. That's not right. I did something wrong.
Uh-oh.
That's hers, right?
I've known Jenny for years. However, she just joined us and oh my gosh, she is just hysterical. You guys are gonna love her. I'm so glad I got the chance to work with her. Also, I want to introduce you to Gabby. It's Debbie's granddaughter and she is the sweetest girl ever. She's gonna be working with us too.
And so you used to live in Leonard. Yes. Okay. And then where do you live now? Clarkson. Okay. And then she drove here to come and be a part of this grand opening. I am so thankful. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. I love the support. I have the best people.
I really do mean that because those of you who watch my videos and those of you who drove out here to be a part of my grand opening, it just means so much to me. And I really do think you are the best. Thank you again for supporting me. And Claudia, the flowers were absolutely beautiful. This is Nicole. I was supposed to meet up with her. Her and her sister are kind of getting out of the home decor thing and they have a lot of stuff. So I really wanted to see what they had. However, I ended up breaking my ankle and I wasn't able to make it. And look at, she came to my grand opening. She was the sweetest ever. Nicole, I'm going to come over and look at your stuff.
This is Dee, and she came from Dryden, yes, for my grand opening.
How nice is that? And just when I thought it couldn't get better, I saw this person walking towards me.
Delane, my countertop twin, made it. Can you believe it?
I don't think Debbie watches the videos.
I do.
Oh,
But you know who does?
Recognize me.
This one here. She watches the video.
That's Karma's sister, Crystal. And yes, she does. Crystal is hilarious too. I could listen to Crystal's stories all day long.
Watches the videos.
so Delane brought me something, but she really wants me to open this one.
Yeah. So,
Do you want me to open this now?
sure. Wait, here, let me help you.
Okay.
Because it's very fragile.
You did it! Oh my gosh, you guys. You're not going to believe
Here,
this.
let's turn it this way.
The ugliest sheep in Lansing! Oh my gosh. I can't even believe you gave this up here.
Oh, no. No.
For that.
Oh! It's a
And
twin?
look for it.
It's a countertop twin!
It's a twin for the twin.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Can you believe that?
Now I know you remember Delane.
Hello, Kelly. Welcome to my countertop. Thank you for coming today. The ugliest sheep ever. A few years back, my mom and I were thrifting and going to antique malls on my birthday. And he was way high and the lady brought him down. And my mother said, "That's the ugliest sheep ever."
And I tried to kill them. They will die soon.
I was going to say, I can't believe that these are all alive. Did you remember? I'm going to show a picture of yours.
I took pictures of the two of them together before they were parted.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And then this has some special meaning.
Okay. Hang on.
Is there enough bandwidth in the world for this? Okay, so here, maybe we should.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come over here.
So here, now pull it out. I got the handyman.
Nice.
Handyman.
The handyman gave
Handyman.
me his toolbox.
Oh, that is so cool.
And I painted it with the, you did the Elmer
you did
glue,
like a craft?
and then I painted it this color, and I thought, that looks so cool.
love it.
So I said to the handyman, "Did you want it back? You get first right of refusal." He said, "Well, if you don't want it, just throw it in the trash." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna give it to Kelly, and I'm gonna call it the Craft Like Delane Kit." So it is filled with everything.
Wait
so
a
that
minute.
So that she can do all the proper crafting. All the proper crafting.
Oh my God.
She can decant paint.
Decant.
She can sand.
Did you get her paintbrushes?
Yes, I did. Real paint
Brushes are important.
Do you hear that, you guys out there?
Real paint. I hope they're in there.
Oh my God. Sticks.
Sticks to stir.
The paint.
These are to clean your paintbrushes.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I think there's paintbrushes in there. Oh, there's a yeah.
You knew what I needed.
Yes, all kinds of sandpaper. Kelly does not sand enough.
I'm going to tell
Do
you
remember
what, she
me
can
sanding?
spend 2 hours sanding.
I could.
Like her half her birthday was sanding. Yeah, because really, it's almost what?
It's almost not my birthday anymore because I've been sanding all evening.
Sanding. I was sanding. Well, I didn't want anybody to get splinters. So there you go, my dear. Now you can craft like Delaney. This is a first edition, and if I get people wanting orders.
Do you hear that, you guys?
Oh, yeah, I think this has this brush.
You're not going to believe this. Look at this. Out of all the things she found,
Yep, a sheep.
a sheep.
A sheep.
I love
I
that
love
sheep.
me a sheep.
Yeah. I'm so glad you came.
I am so glad I came too. And obviously, the prices are really great.
Thank you.
They
Thank
really
you.
are. They're very reasonable.
I wanted to keep it like that too.
Okay.
What an amazing day. I hope you guys had just as much fun as I did. And I want to say a special thanks to everyone who made this possible.
I just want to thank everyone who came to the open house. It really means a lot to me that you did that, and it was an awesome day. It was so great to meet all of you. Also, I want to thank everyone in the comments who wished me well. Maybe one day you'll be able to come and visit me. I would love that. Thank you so much for all your wishes. The open house turned out amazing, and I couldn't be any happier. Again, thank you to all those who traveled here, and I'm so glad I got a chance to meet all of you. Thanks so much. All right, you guys, for the first drawing, I'm gonna pick a name, and this is gonna be for the cement head. I need my glasses. Let's see. Cora Box. All right. This is gonna be, my sister's gonna draw for the next one. This is for a $25 certificate.
Lisa Ramos.
Mom, I need you to pull a ticket, come on. So this is for Karen L. We have your phone number and we will be calling you. You just won a $25 gift certificate.
The winner of Debbie's Flying Pig will be announced June 1st. This means you still have time to win. Tuesday morning, I had my very first customers, and this is what they said.
I just want to let you know, these are my first customers of the day. I'm so happy. Thank you very much. You're welcome. For coming to Flea Market Rescue. That's awesome. So I hope you
Yes, come on down. It was so fun. You guys are so fun.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And Lisa Ramos ended up picking up her gift certificate the following day and spending it. Thank you, Lisa, for participating in the raffle. Well, that's it for this episode of Flea Market Rescue. If you like this episode and you want to see more episodes, make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. I'm Kelly Sherry, and this has been Flea Market Rescue.